Assalamu alaikum, Amil Beg. Today I am going to read something from one English book. It's a spiritual book. So if I do any mistake while reading, hopefully you will never mind. Actually, English is not my native language, even it's not my second language as well. So, but I will try, okay? So now I'm going to start. The chapter name is Mental Concentration. Mental Concentration. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In our material life, we have various ability to perform different tasks. All of these are the ability of the conscious mind. For example, the ability to touch, to feel, to listen, to smell, to hold, to taste, to speak, to hold, to walk, to sleep, or to arise, and so on, all fall under that category. Various branches of knowledge like art, music, printing, literature, poetry, history, science, and so on and so forth are also in the same league. When someone wants to learn a skill that he or she does not already know, the first thing they need to do is to concentrate on the idea of learning that particular skill, and then, depending on their overall enthusiasm, the hidden qualities and abilities come to the surface. Bottom line is that to set any ability into motion, the primary thing is to focus on it. No one could acquire any skill or ability without concentrating on the idea of acquiring that skill. Whether it is intentional or unintentional, concentration is the basis of all learning and acquire new skills. We all know for a fact that unless any work is done using the full concentration, desired results would never be achieved. Whether it is educational, sports, or spiritual, mental concentration is the backbone of all the achievement. To learn something, we need an environment where there is least distraction. When we learn something new using full concentration, we usually achieve the desired results. On the other hand, if the environment is full of distraction, then our objective could not be achieved, no matter great our ability to learn it. Concentration is the name of focusing the mind into one point so that it could be focused on a single thought or point. Through it, the scattered forces from the depth of mind converge and then surface. The reason why so many reflections of the soul and its unlimited force remain dormant is because the power of mental concentration is hardly used to activate the paranormal capability that exists within each of us. Under the influence of emotions, thoughts, and urge, the mind is constantly changing from one state to the other. It never stays in a single state. Due to the constant influx of thoughts, we fail to perceive the stations that are the source of our origin. Radio stations throughout the world rely their transmission on the air through radio waves. Each wave has its own frequency. The various radio sets receiving the transmissions are receivers. because they receive the transmissions. To receive those transmissions, radio sets must be turned to the same frequency, which is the frequency of that radio station. It is our daily routine that whenever we want to hear our favorite radio station, all we have to do is to adjust the switch to the relying station's frequency. When the receiving frequency corresponds to the relying frequency, we start hearing our favorite station. All radio stations rely their programming in different frequencies. When the frequencies do not match, we do not hear anything. In the same way, if there is resistance of any kind, for example bad weather, we do not hear the clear sound. In case of television, sound and picture are relayed together. We not only hear the sound but watch the pictures as well in different channel. In case of television, sound and picture are relayed together. We not only hear the sound but watch the pictures as well in different channel. In the same way, human consciousness is also a receiver. The information that is stored in the depth of the mind transmits itself in various forms to the consciousness. Some information is displayed in the form of pictures, some in the form of imagination, others are received in the form of thought, while some are also received as sound. We all know for a fact that thoughts come to our mind involuntarily. I repeat, we all know for a fact that thoughts come to our mind involuntarily. There is not a single moment in our life when we are free of thoughts. What we do not realize is the urge of food and water to eat to end our hunger. I repeat, what we do not realize is the urge for food and water to end our hunger and thirst are also thoughts. And so are our needs for sleep or awakening after sleep. Happiness, sadness, and other emotions are thoughts as well. Not only thoughts and imaginations, but vision, hearing, touch are nothing but information. In fact, our whole life revolves around thoughts, and when this process finally ends, it culminates in death. Allahu Akbar. Inna Allah ala kulli shayin qadir. The consciousness of a child is different from that of an adult. The consciousness of a child is different from that of an adult. At the time of the birth, the child is unaware of his environment. His vision hardly stays on any object, nor could he comprehend the sounds around his environment. He could not speak or sense time and space. Slowly and gradually, he learns more or less everything that is prevalent in his environment, society. Even the way of thinking is transferred from his environment to him. In this transfer, the child's will or intention also play a part. A big chunk of knowledge that he receives comes voluntarily from the people of his environment. He learned to speak his native language without ever receiving a formal education for that language. In the same way, he learns the meaning and use of the objects present in his environment. More or less, a child sees, understands, and perceives the knowledge and consciousness of his elders. By the time he reached adulthood, his consciousness contains roughly everything that enables him to lead the life in the same manner or style that is prevalent in his society. The will or intention plays a big part in activating your spiritual or hidden senses. When you do muraqabah meditation with your closed eyes, you are aware that beyond this darkness, those objects do exist. This awareness helps activate your esoteric vision. At first, you get frustrated, but with continuous practice, your will or intention is set into motion, and you, with your eyes closed, are able to see the unseen realm, just as with open eyes you see the material world. We all know that belief plays a major part in achieving anything. If you do not believe that New York is a city, then you would never be able to get there. If you do not believe that New York is a city, then you would never be able to get there. If we do not believe in chemistry as a science, we would not able to learn it ever. Hope you understand. The further next, inshallah, I will repeat next time, because this video is going to prolong. Hope you never mind of my mistakes I go through with this song.